source for all that is fitness. Ontario Muscle. Subscribe.
Hey everybody, Jeff here from Ontario Muscle again, bringing you another edition of Ontario Muscle Radio, where we bring local Ontario brands and athletes to you. And we're super pleased tonight to have our special guest, as you would know on Instagram as Classic Claeysy, whose actual name is Brandon Claeys. Welcome, Brandon. Thanks so much, man, for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So you must be having a nice week this week. You're kind of off the show. The prep is over. You're kind of living life. How are things going lately?
Oh, it's great. I'm eating all the food I was dreaming about for the last 20 weeks. Probably a little more than I should be, but we're enjoying ourselves. Back to work now, back in the gym, and trying to semi-clean things up a bit.
Well, you deserve the time for the prep that you put in. But before we get started talking about your bodybuilding career and your competition plans and your training, let's go back. People like to know sort of where everyone comes from. So why don't you tell us a little bit about where you came from, where you grew up, what kind of kid you were? Where'd you go to school? Were you a pain in the butt, or were you a good kid? Did you listen to your folks and that kind of stuff?
So I'm originally just outside of Windsor, a small town called Tilbury. Super small. There's about 4,000 people there. School life, I was the athlete. Played soccer, volleyball, basketball. Did martial arts, bowling, like a little bit of everything. Yeah, I mean, I was decent growing up. I didn't get into too much trouble, but too much trouble that I got caught. No, that's pretty much it. Just played sports. Small town county boy. That's about it.
So you're all around well-rounded athlete. So did your passion for physique building and things like that start back then, or is that something that evolved later in life?
It kind of started back in high school. Like grade 11, grade 12, I got into, the gym a little bit, working out, and then I lost it in college, the party days, and getting into the drinking, the drugs, all that sort of stuff. And then kind of got out of that. And then just about, it's coming up on 3 years, I kind of got back into the gym, kind of got some traction, and really got serious about it to be where I'm at now.
Okay. So after high school, you went right into college?
Yep. Yeah, I took a year off and worked and tried to figure out what I wanted to do. I changed my mind quite a few times, but finally settled on HVAC and haven't looked back since.
Man, and you know what? That's a good career path. I don't have to say anything about young kids today, but nobody wants to get their hands dirty anymore. And if you're willing to work a trade, the money's there to be made.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, the money's great. I mean, if you're okay with heights and, small spaces and stuff like that, as long as you don't get phased too easily, it's the money's definitely there.
As long as you can handle a fight with the electricians.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember you posting a picture showing that you asked an electrician to leave you a certain amount of wiring, and they left you this much to connect in between a house and a fence. So.
Oh yeah, that's a weekly occurrence.
Oh my gosh. So when I remember a while back when you were working away, you were regaling us all with these Insta stories of this wonderful apprentice that you had.
Oh. Yeah, you might have to be more specific. I had a few wonderful apprentices.
Well, there was never any names, so you're pretty good about that. But
yeah.
It was fun. So they all made it?
You know what? Most of them don't actually. It's probably about 1 in 5, 1 in 10 actually make it in the trade.
Really?
We got a few good ones right now. I got a good guy with me right now, so can't complain.
Yeah, didn't you have one guy beat up your truck? I don't remember you showing an accident.
Yeah, he's still around actually. Yeah, no, he hit a landscaping boulder with my truck and completely broke the tire rod off. And this was a Thursday night. I had him driving home so I could eat my protes on the way back to the shop, and he just pulled over to answer a phone call and pulled over a little too far.
Nice, always a good thing at the end of the day. So. Yeah. When you were in college, is that when you got back more serious into the gym?
No, it's actually quite a bit after. So I was out of college for probably 3-4 years, and then I started getting back into the gym after that.
Okay. So when you first started to train, what was the goal? Was it just simply to look better, I mean, you competed now on the national, sort of stage, pretty much, the Niagara Falls Pro-Am. Was that kind of where you were headed, or are you just kind of lifting for something to do?
So in the beginning, I had no plans of competing whatsoever. I was kind of just getting shredded up. My sister had her wedding in Mexico. I wanted to look good for it. Kind of after that, I kind of caught the bug for it, and kept getting okay, maybe I will get a little bit bigger. We'll get a little
Right.
bit bigger. I remember back when I started, I was like, yeah, I'll be good if I hit like 100 and 190 pounds. I'd be good with that, and we're long past that.
What did you top out in last off season? Do you remember? Weight
230. I was
230. Okay.
a fluffy 230.
Okay, and you're 6'1", right?
I'm about 5'11".
Okay, so you and I are about the same height. I remember we had this conversation a little while ago. So you started to work out, you did it on your own. What was your training style? Were you kind of, let's go balls to the wall, let's, do our 6 to 8s, or let's do our hypertrophy 12 to 15, let's hurt ourselves in PR every day? What kind of training were you into?
I was never like too much into like the super like PR, like go hard. For the most part, I was like the 8 to 12, typical
Mhm.
bro split. Um, Later on, I did get into, more of like the Dorian Yates style training, doing the 2 warm-up sets, and then you have your, 2 work and failure sets. Um, just kind of all over the place right now, just trying different things, seeing what
Right.
works. Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you been training?
So like back in the gym now, I'm just shy of 3 years. So
Okay.
January, I think 21st is like my fit anniversary.
Fit anniversary. So you trained for a couple of years, and then one day decided, I want to jump on stage, I want to compete. How did that decision come around?
So I've been wanting to for a while, probably the last year or so, but it's just kind of never worked out timing wise. There's always been something in the way.
Right.
I was in trade school this spring, so I was up in Hamilton. I was away from home. It just wouldn't
Right.
work out well for prep. I mean, this prep, I bought and sold a house and moved and all sorts
Yeah.
of stuff. So I mean, there was some stuff, but it was just kind of I got to the point where I'm like, what, it's never going to be a perfect time to do it. So just suck it
Right.
up and we'll see what we can do.
Well, I mean, if you can minimize your distractions and your obstacles, you can kind of do it any time. But things like school for sure get in the way. So it looks like you had a good prep. What brought you? Well, like did you have a moment where you kind of looked at yourself and say, yeah, I could compete. I can stand on stage, or were you confident the whole time, or did you ever look at yourself and say, oh, geez, I don't know? Like when did you kind of look at it and say, yeah, you know what, I can do it now?
Like all through a prep, like I kind of thought, I do okay. I didn't think I'd be at the top of my class or anything like that by any means. I
Right.
knew I was going to be undersized for sure. For the show, I came in weigh-ins. I was about 18 pounds under my under my weight cap.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I knew I wasn't going to be the biggest guy up there by any means. Once we started getting closer to the show, once the conditioning started coming in, I started, feeling a little more confident, feeling a little bit better about it.
Right. Right.
And it was really once we started like filling out, once we started doing our carb up, that's when I really started feeling like we had something.
Okay, so I mean, you've got seem to have a good circle of people around you that support you in the gym and the whole Windsor crew out there that you train with. So everyone was kind of on board and said, "Yeah, Brandon, you can do it."
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone was like, I mean, it's the good and the bad. Like you hear a lot of people saying, you look great, and you know what I
Yeah,
mean. Sometimes that's not exactly what you need, but I mean,
yeah,
as far as support goes, I had, more than I could ever ask for. So I was very,
excellent.
very blessed that way.
And so, how long of a prep did you do?
So we did 20 weeks.
Okay,
We left it a little bit longer, just with the stress of the house, the moving and stuff, and not knowing how my body was going to react to it. And like I said as well, I was 230, pretty fluffy at the start of prep, so we needed that little bit extra time.
so just a little aside because I wanted to ask you about it. How's the house?
The house, oh, it's amazing. Yeah, it's nice. I have it set up for all my cooking, all my prep, everything's set up just how I like it. It's made life like so much easier.
So you're gone from house to house, or from apartment to house, or?
So I had a house that I bought with one of my friends. So we
Okay,
split the upstairs, and then we rented out the basement. So we did
Okay.
that for 3 years, piled away some cash, and then I was able to put a good dent into this house here.
Nice.
Yeah.
I remember still getting my first house, and it's just this feeling of, oh my gosh. Number one, I'm all of a sudden a responsible adult, and number two, I can come downstairs in my underwear if I want to.
I know. I do
It's a
that a
good
little
feeling.
too often. I don't have the front blinds up yet, so I
Oh,
gotta be careful
great.
about that one.
So the next thing you know, we get Brandon in the paper on a local lewdness charge because he's parading around in front of the window. I mean, Sam is probably fine with that, but
Oh
uh,
yeah, she encourages it.
especially right now, right? Because now
Yeah.
you're in tip top shape, and so did you? I post show. You did any photo shoots, anything like that, or
So I did one right before.
okay,
I knew I was gonna be eating like crazy after the fact, so I did one the Thursday before,
Hmm.
and it turned out like absolutely amazing. There's a local photographer down here. I contacted him, and he kind of got the vision of what I was going for right away, like the old school '70s look, and he like just knocked it right out of the park. So I'm
sweet.
just waiting on those. I'll be posting those soon, but just waiting to get those back.
Whenever you got the go ahead to put them out there, you let us know, and we'll have a look at them for sure. Absolutely promote it out there. So let's go back to the competition. So 20 weeks.
Mhm.
Picture's all rosy 20 weeks out because you're like, well, I got 20 weeks. So it mustn't have been too much of a this is going to suck prep with that amount of time, or do you think with your fluffy level that you say you had, was it tough?
You know what? I'd say it was actually like a really easy prep. I mean, like I don't really have that much to go off of, but just from what other
Yeah.
people have said and everything. Up until about 6 weeks out, I didn't really feel like I was struggling at all, anything like that.
Okay.
6 to 4 weeks, I kind of, it started to feel like it wear and tear, and then the last 4 weeks were, a bit of a grind. But for the most part, my coach kept me, tons of refeeds. Cardio never got above 80 minutes a day, so it wasn't like I was killing myself on the cardio.
Yeah.
Food stayed relatively high, so he took me down slowly, and
Mhm.
it made it like real manageable prep.
So let's talk about your coaching a bit. Now, before the show, did you have a coach before the show?
Well, I started with my coach Chase. He's with Team Nut Fitness.
Okay.
At about 20 weeks out, he's been a buddy since high school. We've worked out, the whole time that I've been working out, and he's kind of
Mhm.
given me, a little bit of advice here and there. We kind of tossed around the idea at about 20 weeks out of doing a show, and then
Mhm.
as things started shaping up, we got more and more serious about it.
And you recommend a 20-week prep over, say, something shorter,
Yeah,
based on your experience?
Yeah, if you can, I would say absolutely. Like I was doing sushi once a week. I was getting refeeds, and it made it so much easier to you got something to look forward to. And then those workouts, like I'd always plan it around my leg day, my back day, something like a big workout, and you have the absolute best workout after that.
Okay, let's so much in there I want to ask you about, but let's talk. Mentioned back day, leg day, and that brings me to your physique and your parts and all that. So, when you're assessing yourself for this competition, was there anything that you looked at and said, okay, well, I've got to bring this up, I've got to bring that up? Did you have any focus goals like that during prep? Like, did you grow into the show?
Yeah, we actually put on quite a bit of size. My lowest point in prep, I hit 182 pounds.
Okay.
At weigh-ins, I hit 194. So
Wow.
we did put on some size during prep. And then as far as weak body parts, chest and shoulders is kind of my weakness. Um, I think my legs is my strong point by far.
Yeah, you got
Um,
some quads, man.
yeah, the quads, and then I got a pretty decent hamstring balance with it too from the side.
Good.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, chest and shoulders has always been my weakness. So that's the focus of this off season is growing the chest and the shoulders and coming back bigger.
So, and we chatted about leg development the other day, and you gave me some advice on some leg training stuff, and I took it to heart and I did it. And I got up the next morning, the first morning after doing the abductor adductor machine. I was on the treadmill. I'm like, crap, my crotch hurts. What the hell is going on here? It was Brandon Claeys and his abductor machine advice, and it just kills. But it just goes to show what an under developed muscle that is. And it was really good advice. My next photos, I put my legs together so that my
Yeah.
thighs were touching, and pictures were night and day, a week apart, but really no real difference in them. But they just look so much bigger because they're touching.
Yeah, as soon as you take away that space, it just creates way better shape.
So you brought up some size, and I noticed you posted a lot of photos about and videos on your posing and whatnot. Um, how did you develop your posing along the way? Did you have someone help you with that?
Yeah, I've had like tons and tons of people help me with my posing from around the gym. I go to a couple different gyms, so I'd ask for advice. I had a couple of people help me with my routine as well, putting everything together. Um, a couple of my boys just giving me the honest opinion of what I need and how I need to hit my poses and everything. One of my weakest poses used to be my side chest, and I
Yeah.
think at the show my side chest, maybe my back double bicep or front double bicep were one of my best poses.
Yeah, your front double for sure, because your vacuum is sick. So I really noticed that when I can't remember seeing a side chest, but your posing overall, it was really good. I watched your routine that you did and whatnot. I don't think they gave you guys enough time for your little routine.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't mind that. The only thing I was a little disappointed with the show was they didn't do the comparison at the night show. They just did the routine and then gave us the medals.
Okay.
I know they do that at some of the shows, but
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they're kind of trying to get the pros on the stage, so they kind of rushed through it a little bit. But
Well, there was only, I heard there was only like 58 competitors in the amateurs.
I heard 70 to 80. I,
But
I
what I heard was 58 and the rest was crossover. People competing in
oh
two
really? Is that
divisions.
what it was? Yeah, could have been.
So they could have given you more time because from a pro show perspective, it was a big show, and I thought from an amateur perspective, it was kind of a smaller show. But it was decently well done from what I saw. So I noticed because and the reason I bring it up, I saw your posing routine and a bunch of other people, and they were just really fast. And it's
Yeah.
like everyone was trying to squeeze into their minute and a half or 2 minutes, but your poses were all hit great. So you've done really well for first show. And what I'm trying to bring out here a little bit is because people are looking at Brandon and saying, well, I want to do my first show. And I'm doing my first show, so I want to learn from what you did. So 20-week prep for sure, or as
Mhm.
long as you can. Help with posing and
Yeah.
things like that. Any other advice you'd give to first-time competitors?
While we're on the posing topic, like
Yeah,
posing off season, like no matter how fluffy you are, like always practice your posing because if you can hold a pose at 230 pounds, when you're holding that pose at say 195, it's gonna look that much better, right? Because you're
yeah,
you're gonna be used to the mechanics of it. Um, Posing every day, long prep, and just try and like you know have a good support system around you if you can.
mhm,
Ask for help when you need it, and make sure that you're getting your advice from the right people. I think that's the biggest thing. Is there's a lot of bad advice out there,
yeah,
whether it's about diet, supplements,
mhm.
enhancements, training. Um, you got to watch where you're getting your advice from, and really filter that.
Yeah. I always tell people, and I did it. I'm doing it now. Is like pick 3 people or so that you're going to really trust, and the
Yeah,
rest, because I mean, you're popular on Instagram, got a few thousand followers, and you're going to post photos, and everyone's going to say, "Hey, Brandon, you look fantastic." But pick those 2 or 3 that are going to be, hey, Brandon, you know what, you need to bring up your hamstrings, or you need to bring up your chest, or and that are going to be honest with you. And what about you with your honesty with your coach? Are you honest all the time? Yes, sir. I ate all the meals, sir. Here's my check-in photos, sir.
yeah, no, I 100% like I when I started it, like is my buddy doing this for me, so I wanted to make sure I was giving it 100%. And I
Yeah.
said at the start of prep I was gonna not miss any cardio, eat everything that's on the meal plan, and not cheat and not complain. I didn't miss a single cardio. As far as from my opinion, I didn't complain that much. I
Where's
slipped.
Sam? Let's ask her.
Yeah, no, we'll bring her. I think she's coming over in a little bit, so we'll bring her in. We'll ask her. But I slipped a couple of times on the diet, a couple bites here and there, but for the most part, stayed true to it. So
Good.
yeah, that was my thing going into it.
All right. So when you followed your plan, did you have any days where you didn't think the plan was working? Like, how was your mind mentally? And because right now I'm looking at my scale and I was 210 the other morning. It was great. I woke up the next morning, I was 212. I'm like, what the hell is going wrong here? And I started to look at the plan and saying, is something wrong? Like, did you question it at all? Did you just put your hand in the coach and say, I'm just going to do it? Or
The first couple of weeks, actually, yeah. My weight went up, I think, one of the weeks by like 3 pounds or something. And I was panicking a little bit because I knew how much we had to lose. Um,
right?
After that, though, everything got dialed in. We got to a point where it was like clockwork. Like, we were losing the same amount every week. We got to a point where we hit that low and then we came back up. We hit 190 pounds and we basically stayed there and just kind of leaned out from there. So other than the first couple of weeks, I didn't really have any issues, any like trust. Even then, I was kind of asking him like, are you sure this is what we should be doing? And just followed the plan and worked out in the end.
And how did you stay motivated through the plan? Like, anything you did to kind of get yourself pumped up, to get yourself going? Those times when you were down and feeling crap, how did you keep going?
You know what? The biggest thing was just like, keep your head down, keep working. And then I have a lot of people at the gym, like we were talking about, like the support system where,
Mm.
I'll be, trying to amp myself up for a set and someone will come slap me on the back or, someone will come up, give you a fist bump. Like there's a good support system there. There's a lot of competitors at my gym. So a lot of people can see when prep's really hitting you and they know, how to get you going, get you through it.
Okay. No YouTube channels you were following, no motivational videos, speakers, that kind of stuff.
Honestly, most of my YouTube was cooking videos. I was watching.
Man,
I
I'm
was
with like,
watching, yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was watching like how to make your own sushi at home, how to different baking videos, stuff like that. So right now that's my kitchen's full of all sorts of sushi gadgets and baking goods and all that sort of stuff.
So we've seen, man. I'm hooked on. I watch competitive eaters.
Oh yeah.
So when I want to eat but I can't, I'll watch these guys who are going to put down this 12 patty burger because I want a burger. But watching them eat a 12 patty burger disgusts me. But it's fun to watch. Usually like, oh, this is this 8-pound burger and I'm going to eat it. And then they eat it in like 16 minutes. And just, anyway. So try it out. Watch Randy Santel or Beard Meats Food. There's some really good eaters. Matt Stoney. So it's good that you got the support system around you. How much were you in and out of your own head? Were you, pretty confident, pretty mentally stable? No problems there?
Um, you know what? Everyone second guesses themselves, I think. For me, it was, like, am I doing enough? Like, there's always that feeling of like, I'm getting in my cardio. I'm, hitting the weights as hard as I can. I'm following the diet. Am I like, giving it as much as I can give it? So it was kind of getting in your own head that way. But
Right.
for the most part, I knew my coach was going to bring me in. Like when we started this prep, we said we're coming in conditioned or we're not coming in at all. And that's kind of why I waited till like about 6 weeks out to announce it. Because
Okay.
I want to make sure that we were on the right track,
That's funny because I did it the other way. I put it out at about 25 weeks, and now I better come in conditioned or else I look like a dummy. So,
Well, there's your motivation, right?
yeah, because you kind of got to come at it one way or the other. Someone said to me, commit 100% or you're not going to commit at all. But the way you did it is right as well because, it gives you that chance. But I didn't want you out. So, and you came in super conditioned. I mean, man, your hamstrings popped and you were just looking fantastic front and back. I just had another question about kind of focus. Um, and I lost it there. But when you were trying to focus yourself and when you were trying to, kind of stick to the plan, and this is what it was, there's always a risk that you're going to underdo it. Like you're going to eat the wrong thing or you're not going to do the cardio. Did you have, like I have a problem sometimes, did you have a problem going to overdo it in that, well, you said 20 minutes of cardio, so I'm going to do 30.
I started to do that at the beginning, but he warned me about it. He's like, you know what, save that energy. You're going to need it later. And you know what, it's more isn't always better, right? Because if you're starting
Right.
out, you're doing 40 minutes of cardio a day, like your first week, then at the end of prep, you're going to be, on the treadmill all day. So you got to, follow the plan, stick to what it says and, go up in small increments.
So did you have a well-defined plan? Because you had 20 weeks, right? So you're kind of almost going to go slow prep, lean, bulkish, kind of then prep or whatever. Did you have it laid out in distinct sections? Like, like I love a meticulous plan. Like, or was it just kind of, we're going to keep going and make changes and we'll let you know what tomorrow's brings?
For the first couple of weeks, we kind of just established like the diet, kept the calories real high, and let my body respond to it.
Right.
As soon as we kicked into the carb cycling, my body responded just super, super well to it, and we
Okay.
started dropping like crazy. So it was all just like small changes. We kept the diet basically the same the whole time through. We cut out beef super early, cut out salmon super early, but for the most part. Um, the diet didn't really change from about 14 weeks out till peak week. It was just we cycled the amount of high days and the amount of low days that we had.
So what did they look like? What was a typical high day? What was a typical low day?
So my low day was about 2,200 calories.
Okay.
High day, it depended. If we had a cheat, it's quite a bit more. But I think just a regular high day was about 3,500. Um,
2,200 low is not bad.
Yeah, no, it was good. It wasn't like I was really like starving. Like near the end, I was kind of chasing my meals a bit, like watching the clock until I could eat again. But for the
Right.
most part, he kept me pretty full, gave me lots of options. Sugar-free Jello got me through a lot of days.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sugar-free Jello is a bomb. I have a fridge full of it. But you got to watch out with that stuff because Canadian calorie rounding, right? So anything under 5, they round down to 0. So you throw in 10 Jellos a day, well, now you're adding 50 calories to your day. And all these sauces that everybody likes. So what were your special tricks? Anything else besides Jello?
What was huge for me was my coach was pretty lenient with me, moving my carbs around, moving my carb sources around, as long as I kept to the few that we had. I
Right.
started doing Ezekiel bread French toast right before my workout with
Oh,
peanut butter on top. And every single day I would look forward to that. Right after work, I'd have that, go to the gym, and it was just my like 20 minutes of feeling like I was having like like a nice meal. Carved me up for the workout, and
right.
was able to bang it out.
Yeah, and you said post show one of your biggest cravings was a fat bowl of protes.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was amazing. Yeah. No, that was I tallied that up. I think it was about 1,400 calories for that bowl of oats.
But well worth it. The show was here and you deserved it. So
Yeah.
let's talk about your in your carb cycled. What was the big carb drop on that? Like what was the difference?
You know what? I'm not sure the exact carb drop. We were dropping from the 3,500 down to the 2,200
Okay.
calories. I know the 2,200 calories, I think, was about 140 grams of carbs. I'm not sure what it was on the high day, though.
And how many meals a day were you eating?
So it was structured out into 6 meals.
Okay.
But the way I kind of would break it up, I'd move my carbs around. I'd move it into about 8 like meals, separate. So my chicken would be a meal by itself. The French toast would be a meal by itself, and just kind of spread it out. So I felt like I had more food.
So but were you hungry after? Like I would be hungry, I think, if I split a meal in half.
No, it wasn't too bad. I had it timed down. Like I said, up until like the last few weeks, it was mostly pretty good. I was chasing my meals the last couple of weeks, but for the most part, I was pretty full.
Excellent. I mean, it sounds like overall you had a fantastic prep for a first experience. That's great. Were there any moments where you kind of said, "Screw this, I'm out of here"?
No, no. I was full bore the whole time. I wanted to get in there, get it done. Like I haven't been working out that long, but I've been around the bodybuilding scene for a couple of years now, going to friend shows and stuff like that. And it felt
Right.
like it was time. I needed to, join the club sort of thing. So
Right. Any times during your prep where you were kind of hard to be around?
I don't think so. I I
Cranky,
I
Brandon?
I, I tried to keep it um it's my choice to prep kind of thing. I think Blake hit the nail on the head the first episode there. Like, it's your choice to prep it. If you're going to be a dick about it, then, I mean, like, that's on you. So I tried to keep a level head as much as I could.
Well, I'm going to keep bringing guests on until I find one that says, yes, I was a dick. Because all you guys are just super nice. And I knew you were too, because I could tell just by our interactions on Instagram that you're like super calm. So I need to find someone that gets really cranky and salty. Where's Sam? We could ask her if you're telling the truth or not. But, all right, if you don't mind, let's talk about Sam for a second. You met Sam on prep. How did that conversation go? She's on board.
You know what? I think she was kind of a little wary at first, the whole bodybuilding scene. She wasn't quite used to it, but no, she like adapted to it really well. And no, she's been great. Like I said, she's done everything from, doing the dishes when I was, too
Wow.
tired, going for walks with me to get my cardio in when, I didn't want to, pound it out on the treadmill again. Making my meals for me here and there. She
Right.
was awesome. She was awesome at the show too. She had seemed like she had a great time. So
And right now you kind of got together, and it's like, here's Brandon, the selfish dude. So
yeah,
now look how good you look right now.
yeah, that's what I was saying too. I'm like you kind of you caught me when I was on prep buying and selling a house. Like this is kind of like my most stressful time. So if you made
Right.
it through that, you should be all right.
I know, like it's got to be all rainbows, sunshines, and unicorns these days. Like it's all you're going out to eat, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's go back and talk about the show. Let's talk about the days leading up to the show. You went down to Niagara Falls early.
Yeah, yeah, we went early the Friday, about noon. We got down there.
So how are
So
you the night before the show? How are your nerves?
they were okay. I was we were kind of it took quite a bit of carbs to fill out, so I was eating like every hour. We were trying to pose like 15, 20 minutes every hour just to work the
Right.
carbs into the muscle, make sure that all the posing was polished up before the show. So really, I didn't sleep all that much. I think I got, maybe three 45-minute naps over the night,
Wow.
but honestly, it was good. I was eating carbs, so I was happy.
So talk
um,
about how did you carve up? What kind of things?
um, So we didn't really know what to expect. We tried carving up a little bit through prep and everything, but with it being my first show, we didn't know, what
Mm,
worked well, how many carbs we needed. So I just went to the grocery store and just bought everything that we could think of.
mhm.
So my carb up ended up being 250 grams of potatoes, six Tim Horton muffins, half a loaf of bread, uh, package of rice cakes, half a pound of peanut butter, two Snickers bars, banana, um, 300 grams of honey,
Wow.
uh, some jam, and a bit of orange juice. So it took quite a bit to carb up, but
So you weighed in at was it 190 something?
194.
194, and what
Yeah.
were you what did you carve up to?
You know what? So I didn't weigh myself before the stage. I actually stopped weighing myself at about 6 weeks out.
Okay.
Um, the weight was staying the same. We knew we were well under the cap and didn't want any like head games playing with the weight, chasing numbers or anything like that. So actually, other than weigh-ins and today was the only time I've weighed myself in the last 6 weeks.
Wow. But now weighing in at 194, you're over 5'11. So your
Mm-hmm.
cap is 220?
212.
Is it 212? I was looking at
Yeah,
it the other day because I was kind of over 5'11 on one measurement, and then I was just over 6 on the other, and it's an 8 pound difference between the two heights. So I don't want to
yeah,
mess.
yeah. If you're just over 6 foot, it goes up to 220.
Yeah, what a difference that is, But
Yeah.
anyway. So talk to me about show day. How was the whole show day experience?
It was amazing. Like I said, I had a huge group come down. I think we had about 12 of us come down from Windsor, Toronto, all over the place. The show was
Wow.
great itself. Like I felt really natural on the stage. Didn't really have any jitters, anything like that. Um, like I said, great support system all around. So we had a good day, and then went out for some meals after.
Nice. And I heard you were the first one to show up for weigh-ins.
I
Or
was
tanning, tanning.
tanning. Yeah, tanning. Yeah, that was quite the experience. I walked into it was me and pretty much all of the 212 pros. So I was feeling a little inadequate there.
Well, we're all a little inadequate compared to the pros these days.
Yeah.
Um, so no problems during the show. Everything went off without a hitch. Um, After your prejudge, how did you feel?
I felt good. I They had me in fourth place to start, and I moved me up to second place.
Right.
Um, I was, hoping for the first there, so we were carving up, getting ready for the night show and everything there. just kind of hoping, they might make a change, but yeah, no, everything was pretty good on show day there.
Well, and you got to be happy with second place first show. I mean, that's a pretty impressive showing.
Oh, absolutely. And like the guys in the lineup too, there was a lot of really good guys in that lineup. There's a lot of really good conditioning too.
Right.
Backstage, I was, super focused. I was kind of sizing everyone up like, that guy's a better chest than me. This guy's a better back than me. This guy's dry as hell.
Right.
Trying not to get in my own head too much, but yeah, no, it was a very solid lineup. To walk away with second, I was very happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So if you go back now and look over your prep in the 20 weeks, is there anything you would change, anything you'd do different if you had your time back again?
You know what? Not really. I think we kind of came out with the best package that we could have.
Okay.
I think my biggest thing is size. I got to put in a lot more size, especially up top. So that's just a time thing. But as far as conditioning, as far as posing, as far as everything else, I think we nailed it about as good as we could.
And so what did you learn that you'll bring into your next prep?
Mostly just like what meals work for me and stuff like that. Like timing out my cardio, stuff like that. Just kind of, just the day-to-day kind of stuff that, getting everything in, time management wise.
Yeah, and as a physical laborer in HVAC, it kind of is it's a lot more stress on you than if you're just sitting at a desk job, right? Because you're physically exhausted all day. And hey, maybe that counts for cardio or something. But how did you find you're managing work as you got closer and closer to the prep or to the show?
It was tough for sure because I never know what I'm getting into. Some days are super, super easy and I'm, just kind of killing time.
Right.
Other days I'm like slugging it out. So it's hard to really, balance it out. And some of those harder days, you kind of have to, maybe take an extra rest day off the weights or, you might have to move some days around. Like, you have a really hard day. You don't want to go in and smash legs right after that. So you kind of have to be, a little fluid with that. But for
Right.
the most part, it's, you got to pay the bills. So got to get in there.
Yeah. It's tough, because your brain starts to go as you get closer and closer and closer. So you don't want to get electrocuted or anything like that, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, prep brain was real near the end there, especially like, I was second checking everything that I'm doing, making sure, all the gas fittings are tight, making sure, I, plug that wire back in or whatever I was working on. I made sure, that we were good because I knew I wasn't all there mentally.
Yeah, because you got a bit of an explosion risk there that you want to mitigate as best you can, right?
Yeah, that's the key.
Any mishaps, funny stories during prep from prep brain or anything else?
You know what? There was one. I was driving down the street just in my car, and someone swerved, and I ended up hitting this piece of metal. It bent my rim, slashed my tire open. I'm like on the side of the road, like fifth low day in a row, like with a blown tire. I'm calling all around, and I'm trying to get like someone to come out and change the tire for me. And finally, the third guy goes, maybe you should just put on your spare tire and drive it in tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. I have a spare tire in my car. So I broke that out and got it all changed out and back on the road. But yeah, that was probably my biggest prep brain moment there.
In reality, that's not too bad, So
Yeah.
that's good. So your experience would lead you to want to do it again?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think we're gonna take a long off season, put on the weight. Like I said, I got a good, almost 20 pounds before I hit my stage cap. So want to get a little closer to that before we hit the stage again and
Okay.
bring something a little bit better.
How long you think that'll be? Any thoughts, or are you just going to go until you're ready?
We're gonna go till we're ready. I think realistically, a year and a half, 2 years, we might be able to get another 10, 15 pounds on there. So if we can do that and come in harder, come in bigger, I think we might have something.
So we're going to have to wait a year and a half to 2 years before you step on stage again?
We'll see. It will depends how this off season goes. But
I was going to tell you, you got to compete in April with me.
oh yeah, no.
I mean, you're
No,
there now, so just calm down this after diet that you're on, and you'll be ready to go.
yeah, no, we got to put on a lot more size. I want to bring something special when I come back.
All right. So I just talked about after show diet. Tell me about your after show diet. What was your go-to thing? What did you eat right off stage?
So I ate these brownies that I made. They're the peanut
Oh
butter and
yeah.
jelly brownies. Yeah,
Yeah, I saw those.
yeah, I ate that in the hallway of the convention center. So I was in my posing trunks, still demolishing the brownie. Um, After that, we went to the Works. Had the Reese's peanut butter burger there. That was fantastic, and just a massive strawberry cheesecake milkshake. So that was the start of the food, and it's been rolling since then.
What I really want to know about is your charcuterie board.
Oh
How,
yeah.
how did that turn out?
Oh, that was amazing.
Because
Yeah.
I
So
remember you posted a picture of the meats, you posted a picture of the cheeses, but then nothing else that I saw.
so I posted one on my main story with everything.
Oh, but you didn't show us eating it. Was it good?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, no, I was compiling that charcuterie board for the last 2 months of prep. So anytime any meat or cheese went on sale, I was picking it up, putting it in the fridge, and probably spent a couple of hours prepping all the meat and everything, and getting all the cheese all cut up. But it was awesome.
How many people was that for?
It was just Sam and I.
How much do you have left? It must be mostly left because that was a pretty huge board.
Yeah, so I think we did she did a couple of pieces of cheese basically, but I think we put back about a board the first night. And then second night we did some baking. I had one of my other friends over. We probably put back another one. So there's about like a third left right now.
So you said you were picking stuff up while during prep. Now, like I've got a ton of crap out there, and I can do that. I can buy it, and I'll never touch it. How are you with that?
Oh yeah, no, my freezer was full of treats. My cupboards were full of chocolate. Like I have no issue until I like taste whatever it is. So
Yeah.
one of the times I fell off was my niece's birthday party. I was like cutting the cake and like a little bit of frosting fell off. So I'm like, oh, I'll just, take a little bit of the frosting. And then after that, before I knew it, I ate like half a piece of cake. And I'm like, that was like my low point. I'm like, okay, I gotta cut this out.
A half a piece of cake.
Yeah, I know.
Aw. Like that probably didn't even affect you at all. Maybe gave you a little bit of a better pump the next day. But there's not too much to worry about. You never did any sort of full out, next thing I'm eating half a cow or 6 burgers, that kind of stuff.
No, nothing more than like a couple bites here and there. But it's more the mental thing, right? Like it's that piece of cake beat you, right? Like, you spent 20 weeks and you couldn't last through that. But kept it to a minimum and
Good.
made it out.
I remember I heard Dave Palumbo one time say when he was talking about having to eat more, but he was saying I can't let this meal beat me. And
Hmm.
so I mean that's the truth with all your food, right? I can't let food beat me. You need to beat the food. So you're mentally strong is no problem to keep your diet down, which is great. Um, what are some of the struggles that you can tell people to watch out for show experience?
Um, I think the biggest thing is where like I was saying, where you're getting your advice from. Is spend your time finding a coach that works for you, and that might not be the biggest name coach or someone who's brought in like tons of people like super conditioned. It's
Mm,
whoever has the best like style for you, right?
right.
Find someone that you click with, and then just go with it. That would be my best advice. And then the other thing is just put your head down and work, and count the days down, and it'll be there before you know it.
And people have asked me, how did you lose so much weight, or how did you get in such size? And my answer is always the same. I did what I was told.
Yeah.
And so many people get coaches, and they're like, "Well, can I do this? Well, I can do that. Can we change this?" I'm like, man, just put your head down and do what you're told. Same thing with coming to eating and not eating. Well, how do you not eat that? Well, I just don't eat it. But I think in the general scene today, there's a lot of dedicated, people getting into the bodybuilding scene. I think. What do you think about the expanded number of shows that we've got now? I mean, gosh, there's a show practically every other weekend. We could see the President's Cup coming up this weekend.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. It gives more of an opportunity to, you don't have to travel as far to shows and stuff like that. Like, especially down here, like we don't have too many open shows down like the Windsor way.
Right.
The London show was the closest one, and they moved that to Niagara. So, I mean,
Yeah.
as far as open shows go, we're going at least 3 hours for a show. So I think the more shows, the better. And just, brings more people into the sport too, right?
Yeah, I think opening up opportunities to compete is a real good thing. Like I question I know there's some of the shows are poorly attended, and I could make a case for saying, okay, let's do 10 big shows instead of 20 diluted shows.
Mhm.
But I think you're right. I think the way they do it now, you're funneling more people into the sport, and you see your folks that kind of come and go. I mean, you've seen them all on Instagram. Someone will come and do a show, and next thing you know, they're gone. But then it gives more opportunities for people to stick around. And you seem like you're going to be one of the people to stick around. I'm looking forward to seeing what you bring in a year and a half or 2 years. Because man, 20 more pounds on your frame, you're gonna be absolutely insane. Um, have you started that yet, or are you still kind of cleaning out and getting ready to go back at it?
Just starting, kind of just getting back at it right now. I changed up the my training style right now. The diet's still pretty dirty. It's gonna be for the next week or so too. Anyways, um, we're going to Toronto. My coach is competing at the President's Cup, so we already have
Okay.
some crazy cheats planned after post show. I got some treats made up too. So we'll smash all those, and then over the next couple of weeks, we'll start cleaning things up a little bit more.
Well, you got time for you got a year and a half, and it's good that you've defined it, and said, okay, I'm going to take this window and I'm going to do what I want for this window, and as long as you can shut it down and turn it on when you need to, that's absolutely great. Um, let's go back to you're back to training now.
Mhm. Yeah.
And how do you find the atmosphere of training in the gyms around today? You guys said you're in a couple of gyms. Do you feel that there's a bigger, more serious contingent in the gym these days, or more kind of, I just want to be fit lifters? Like, how's the current vibe in the bodybuilding scene? Do you see it developing around you?
I think it depends gym to gym. Like my main gym is mostly competitors. Like there's a huge competitive circuit in there.
Right.
It's actually the gym where Fuad trained when he was in Windsor. And it's a great environment. Like there's the bodybuilders, the power lifters. There's like a very competitive atmosphere in there.
Yeah.
The other gym I go to is a little more the older crowd. It's like a more of a family gym, but they have awesome equipment there. So that's the reason I go there. They got the belt squat machine, the glute ham raise, all that sort of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think it depends gym to gym, but I think for the most part, if you get a real competitive gym, you get that atmosphere that just makes you want to work.
Oh, it's really important atmosphere. I think I need more friends in the gym. The gym I go to, I don't know anybody. Which is, I used to train at, well, I train at Flexplex when I can, but it just got to be too far away with work, and I knew everybody. Now I'm in the gym, I don't know anybody. Actually, that's a lie. I know Emily Hayda, who just did a show 2 weeks ago, and that's like the only person from Instagram that I know. How important is it to you for a variety of equipment? You talked about going to the other gym. Do you go there for specific things like leg day or?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, I pretty much use that gym just for leg day.
Okay.
They have just tons of like unique equipment and stuff like that. The gym I go to, like my main gym, is great for pretty much any workout. Like they have all the old hammer strength machines. They have the hack press, leg press, everything. So I mean, I could get away with just going to my main gym, but it's nice to have that little bit of variety there.
Okay. So actually, you're talking with the Windsor crew. Tell me about that shirt you're wearing.
Oh yeah, Cash and Muscle. So this is my buddy's brand. It's an area in Burma where he grew up.
Okay.
He immigrated into Canada, came here with nothing, built up his own brand. He works hard. He has a great family, two little guys.
All right.
one of the hardest working guys I know. Like, he came into his first bodybuilding show, natural, completely shredded to the bone, working full time, taking care of 2 kids. Like,
Wow.
to me, that's what like a hard prep is. Like, I mean, my prep is easy compared to, anyone who has to deal with, like, all those responsibilities.
Right. No, it's absolutely awesome, man. He's able to build that brand because I see it around everywhere now. There's a ton of people from Windsor wearing it, and now it's starting to trickle out in other places. So, good luck to him, man, and your buddy with that brand. So, no sponsorships for you right now?
No, nothing right now. I mean, I've just done my first show, so I don't really expect all too much or anything like that. But yeah,
I could hook you up
nothing.
with Dreaming Elegance or someone,
Yeah, there you go.
or
Eh?
Be First Apparel. They want me on their team too. I bet you we could get you in there too.
Yeah, that's what I get is Be First and muscle workout. That's where my income's gonna come from.
Oh man. Well, you know what, guys, if you're looking to sponsor some athletes, I'm sure Brandon would be quite willing to talk to you. You know, it's nice to have a sponsorship. Um, we put a couple of posts out asking for some questions, and we actually managed to get some, which is great. Can I ask you some of the questions that I got?
Absolutely.
So you're familiar with Instagram bots, right?
Yeah.
So there's actually story bots that will respond to stickers on, and we got one. So this person would like to address and give her the best tips for pre-pregnancy weight for postpartum moms.
Like weight loss or
Actually, you know what? Maybe this is not a bot. Maybe this is a person, but I'm not sure why they would ask you this question. I just thought it would be funny to ask you.
yeah. Honestly, that's not my area of expertise, thankfully yet. Um, I don't know how to answer that. I guess
I don't think there's any answer we can give, Brandon.
yeah.
I think we should move on. Another account just said you're juicy.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm not saying names because it might be somebody for real, but I don't think so. But here's a couple of actual questions that we did get.
All right.
I think your friend Ryan Keogh,
All right.
he said, "Are you ready for a year of growing and all-you-can-eat sushi?"
Oh, absolutely. I was just out with Ryan last night. Probably can eat sushi.
And how much? How do you do it? All-you-can-eat sushi. My best is 65 pieces.
Oh, 65. We did 20 rolls between the three of us last night, but they were some hefty rolls.
So 20 are average about 5 or 6 pieces. So
They were a little bit bigger, I think. I think some of them were 8.
yeah, and I got burned. That's how I got burned on the 65 pieces. I took my little boy out. He's only 9, and he doesn't quite get the concept of you order it, you eat it. And we ordered a couple of these rolls, and I'm used to my regular place having like the 4 or 5 or 6. Well, these were 8-piece rolls, and I'm like, well, I ain't paying for nothing, so we're staying until it's gone. So you're good. You're good with the sushi. You like sushi? That'd be one of your favorite cheat meals?
Yeah, you know what? That's pretty much every cheat that we did during prep was sushi. And
You had
it
it
just
defined, right? You had like 5 or 6 rolls, and it had to be these 6 rolls, or
no, it just had to be 6 rolls. It didn't really have to be those ones specifically, but
okay.
we just kept it to the same place, the same rolls, and it filled me out nicely. I had great pumps the next day, no bloating, anything like that. So it was a nice, like, consistent cheat that we knew what it was going to do.
And you never like any sashimi in there as well, or just strictly the rolls?
You know what? I love sashimi, but I only do it at the all you can eat. I'm not about to pay like $5.
Oh, so that's right. And I don't know why I assumed that your rolls were all you can eat because that makes no sense, excuse me, whatsoever. Yeah, I always do some damage on the sashimi because the sashimi's free.
Yeah.
You can eat. It's just protein, so you just eat all of that, right? I actually found a place where their sashimi platter is exactly 6 ounces, and I need 6 ounces of protein with my meal, so I can swing that once in a while. But we got a couple more questions. Kim Miller Fit asked a couple of questions. We'll just end with those two. First was favorite thing you ate post show.
You know what? I'd probably have to go with the breakfast I had the next day. I had eggs Benny and some French toast from this little breakfast place in Niagara Falls, and it was unreal. Probably the best breakfast I had. It was the flour mill or something like that, and it
Okay.
was just downtown Niagara. Just Googled best breakfasts, and it was uh, unreal.
And I'm a big fan of breakfast, so it sounds good, and I don't want to think about it because I'm starving right now. And we kind of covered this question already, but the second question is, if you look back, is there anything you change, or is there anything you think you could have done better?
I mean, I think there's always times you could have pushed more. There's always times you could have did more, but it comes to the point is, are you going to burn yourself out if you do,
Right.
more isn't always better.
Yeah.
But I think I gave it, 100% effort when I could, and the times when I needed to back off, I backed off. And I think that's what it's all about is you gotta know when to push and when to kind of give yourself a little bit of a break.
So nothing that you continually look back at now and go, geez, if only I'd done this.
No, no, like I said, I think no matter what, I could have came in as conditioned as I wanted. I could have came in, completely diced to the bone. I think I still would have got second place. The guy who got first place, he had a great physique. I don't think I was touching him without, adding more size. So
Right.
I think I did as well as I could have did with what we had.
Yeah, and I think physique wise, you got a real good frame. You're 5'11 ish, but you still got a small waist. And I think and you've got good shoulder width and you got good quad flare, and just kind of pack out a little bit, and you'll have that perfect classic thing that they're going for. I think your rear shots were great. Maybe bring little traps up a little bit, but other than that, and calves. I mean,
Oh, the Cavs, yeah.
who needs calves anyway? No, they've become such a thing now that nobody worries about calves because nobody's got any. You know, it is what it is. So what did you learn about yourself during prep?
You know what? The biggest thing was I learned that I could do it. Like the whole time, it was proving it to myself, like I can make it to the stage. Because that's the thing is like it's one thing to like start a prep, but to see it through is like you really have to dig deep sometimes, and you have to prove it to yourself that you can mentally
Right.
tough it out.
Well, it's good. It's good to learn that you've got that stamina. Kind of surprise ourselves once in a while. Um, is there anything about you that people don't tell us something about you that people don't know, or anything weird, quirky?
Um, like the biggest thing that got me through prep, I'd say, like I said, the sugar-free Jello, and Christmas music was my two biggest things. Like
Christmas.
if I had like a real bad call or something at work, and customer stressing me out or something like that, I'd go back to the van. I had my stash of, I had probably like 10 packs of sugar-free Jello at any given time. Break one of those out, and I just slowly eat that and listen to some Christmas music, and bring me back down, bring me back level, and I could keep going with my day.
I'm picturing you now sitting in your work truck with a grumpy face on and a Jello snack pack with Christmas music playing. It's a fun picture. So you're looking forward to Christmas?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if I spin the camera around, my whole living room's all decorated already.
So what's Santa gonna bring you this year?
You know what? Santa's gonna have a hard time because I have an Amazon addiction, so I buy pretty much everything as soon as I want it. Yeah, no, I tallied it up. I think in October I had about 45 Amazon packages. So,
So what were some of your biggest prep purchases? Anything worth
um,
mentioning?
oh, I was all over the place with it. Like first off the house, so I bought like a ton of stuff there. I bought
Right,
like
right.
a new fridge so I could put all my meal prep in it and everything. Air fryer was like the biggest game changer.
Those are
Uh,
awesome.
oh, it was unreal. I bought every sushi gadget you could imagine, all the sushi knives, all the sushi rollers, everything there. Pretty much you name it, I probably bought it off Amazon.
Yeah, it's Amazon Prime, man. You look at it, and that's just such a dangerous thing. And now the buy now button, like you don't even have to think about it. Just hit buy now, it shows up tomorrow. It's it's,
Oh,
it's I'm trying to think. I've bought so much stuff. Like I order some of my supplements and vitamins through it as well. But I'm starting to buy stuff now, and I'm only in pre-prep, but my brain is still in. Like I'm at about the 6 weeks out right now.
Yeah.
So I'm buying like ring lamps and as I said, another this microphone and this camera. And anyway, it is what it is. It kind of gets you through. Is there anything odd about you, particularly as an individual? Like sort of what I'm getting at is, for instance, I only eat out of a plastic bowl. I won't eat out of anything else. Anything like that about yourself? Tell us something weird that the people don't know about you. You know, kind of lick your elbow. I don't know.
Probably like my gym music is kind of all over the place. Like I'll be, deadlifting and I'll like have like Selena Gomez on or Taylor Swift or something like that. Like I can't do like the screaming or like anything like constantly. I need like a change up. So like you might see me in the gym and I'm like, going for like my max reps and it's Love You Like a Love Song Baby playing or something like that.
All right. You know what? I'll join your team because are you familiar with the song Fight Song? This is my fight song.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If I got 5 minutes of cardio left and I'm having a hard time, man, that's my tune. That's my jam. That'll get me through. And I'll come to the point of listening to it and the tears are about to come because I'm just so pumped up. But yeah, the screaming, I can't do it. But I can't imagine you deadlifting for max reps on Selena Gomez. That's
it's whatever gets it done that day.
You're absolutely right, man. You know what? In reality, people look at us from the outside as bodybuilders and kind of judge what they think we would be like. But in reality, you're an artist. I mean, Jay Cutler talks about it. Ron Coleman talked about it. Arnold talked about it. And so therefore, it's really not surprising for your musical taste to be that eclectic. Mm-hmm. Everything from metal and whatnot. So is there anything that you would tell someone who is contemplating competing? Like, would you tell them weigh options, go for it? What kind of, if someone came to see Brandon, I think about competing. What? Tell me what to do. What should I do?
Yeah, I'd say like, are you looking to compete or are you looking to win? And the answer is going to change completely depending on, what your answer is. If you're looking just to compete, just to see if you can do it, absolutely go for it. Like throw everything you got at it. If you're looking to win, I'd say, bide your time, wait, put on the size, put in the hours, and, wait until, you're never going to feel ready, but you're going to know when it's your time and, go for it then.
And it's good advice, man. You know what? There's a whole kind of different mindset there, whether you're looking to compete and looking to win. Now, looking to compete and not be embarrassed, that's kind of where I'm at. And then looking to win, like that's where you should be. No, absolutely sound advice. And I don't want to take up too much of your time, man. You're fascinatingly interesting, and there's lots of parts of your life and training that we haven't gotten into. But we've had you for over an hour now, and I know Sam is coming over, so that's way more exciting than this. And it's almost time for me to eat, so I've got to take care of that. Thanks for helping me get to my next meal. I've been counting down the minutes to it, so I get it in 15 minutes. Any parting words? Anything you'd like people to know?
No, that's about it. I think we covered just about everything there.
Yeah, you're one of the local Ontario social media sweethearts that everyone loves to follow. Aside from that Ontario Muscle account, you're probably you're way up there. We appreciate you taking the time to come on and telling everyone your story, especially from a first-time competitor perspective and a young guy who's doing it. And you're doing life and you're buying houses and you're working your job and prepping and competing at the same time. So it's really inspirational for me personally. I've got a personal investment in. I look at your physique and think, that's kind of where I'm at. I'll probably settle down around 200, and we'll see what happens. So thanks for the inspiration you give me. I really appreciate it, man. And for the conversations we've had and for your time tonight. It's been really great having you. And we'll hopefully, as you get into off season later on in life, maybe you'll come on again.
Oh, absolutely. No, it was my pleasure. Anytime that you have me.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man. We'll talk again real soon.
All right. We'll see you.
Your source for all that is fitness. Ontario Muscle. Subscribe.